Want to boost your income? Today, I'm speaking with Tolitsky from Cooke Capital to discuss ways to increase your earning potential. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Hannah. Good to be back.
Yes, great to see you again, too. Before we get into the specifics, you mentioned in your piece that cutting back on expenses doesn't always have to be the answer. What else can we do to live more comfortably?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so often when we think of saving money and achieving our financial goals, we think that we have to cut back drastically on our expenses. And although it can be really helpful to cut back on some of our bigger expense line items, such as housing and transportation, at the end of the day, we need a place to live. We need reliable transportation to get around. So it's not always possible. And especially lately, as the cost of everything has really seemed to skyrocket, it's not as easy as before to just cut things out of our expense budget. So in order to do that, you want to reevaluate your budget, but it's a lot easier to actually increase your income because your earning income opportunity is endless. And so that's really exciting. It's a lot easier to actually increase your income than it is to cut everything out of our expenses. So this article shares 4 different ways that you can increase your income.
Great. Well, the first tip you mentioned is to negotiate a raise. That can seem a bit daunting. So, how can one start?
Definitely. It can seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be. And the way to be more confident is to come prepared to that meeting. And so you want to start out by doing your market research. So there's different resources in the article, but do a Google search and kind of see what someone who's in a similar role to you is making, what kind of benefits that they're receiving. And then from there, kind of put together a range of what you're going to ask for. And remember, the salary is one thing, but there's other benefits that you can negotiate, whether that's your 401k plan, time off, working from home. And so you want to think about those things as well when you're coming in prepared to negotiate. You're also going to want to create a list of your accomplishments over the 6 months to past year and be prepared to talk about those because that really demonstrates your value to your boss and why you deserve that raise itself.
So, what's your second tip?
Yeah, so, if there's no room to really grow in your current opportunity or you're just looking for a total career change, it may be time to switch jobs. I mean, we're definitely in a job finder's market. There is an endless amount of opportunities. And so your negotiation power is really great right now. And so you might want to start doing some research. Again, that can seem really daunting too, but kind of figure out, what did you like and not like about your past role? And so are you looking for just a new company, a new team, a new company culture? Or are you really looking to pivot into something else? And if so, what might that look like for you? What are your passions? What are your hobbies? And from there, just kind of doing the research. Interviewing can be really long. It can be really stressful, but staying optimistic and really open-minded when it comes to the interview process and understanding what your non-negotiables are. So what are you looking to get out of that company? What, bottom line, what are you willing to accept? And then going from there.
So, your next tip mentions starting a side hustle. What are some of the opportunities people can take advantage of?
This seems like all the craze nowadays, especially with technology and working from home and people having more time back in their schedule. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to get started. So just thinking about what are your skills, what are your hobbies, and how can you really monetize them? Is there something that you can teach others? Do you like using technology? Do you like using your hands for projects? But I mean, there's an endless amount of things that you can do, whether that's online tutoring, being an Uber driver, walking dogs. I mean, there's so many ways to increase your income. And even if it's just a couple $100s a week or a month, that's a lot of extra money that you can use in your budget to achieve your financial goals.
So, we've talked about 3. What's your last tip?
Yeah, so the last tip is a little bit longer of a process and requires more effort, but it's creating 1 or more passive income streams. And passive income is really great because day to day, you're not putting in a lot of effort, but you're still receiving income to yourself. And so it's really great, but it takes a lot of time up front to figure out what you want to do and to build up the assets or the product to actually earn that passive income. So really think about that before you dive in. But a lot of people nowadays are building products that they're selling. You can launch YouTube tutorials or courses, ebooks. I mean, there's an endless amount of opportunity there as well. And the most traditional way that people are thinking of passive income is investing in the stock market or real estate, and that can give passive income back to you. But again, it takes a lot of time to build up the assets to actually receive a significant amount of income that you could potentially live off of in the future.
Well, great. These all seem like pretty approachable ways to earn some extra cash. I'll definitely keep this in mind. Thanks again, Haley.
Yeah, thank you for having me.